Hello and welcome back to my channel. So this is the main bathroom in the basement, and I showed you the install of the kitchen, so we're going to do the bathroom next. So just put your tile ledge, cut it to size, and put it on the inside of that the 2x4. There is going to be casing and everything, so by the time you close the door and everything, it'll split the difference between the door and the hardwood. So just put your square on there, and remember, if you watch my videos, we always do a dummy line. Okay, just put your tile edge aside, put your chalk line, and just follow that chalk line all the way down to the end, and we're going to see if that room is squared. Just go all the way down and strike that line. Make sure you're on that chalk line. So you're going to have to really take your time with that, or if you have somebody that can help you, that's always a good thing too. Okay, we're going to grab our tape measure, and we're going to go from one end to the chalk line, see how good it is, see if we're going to be square, and just go to the end, take a measurement of that, and see if we're on or off. Okay, so remember, I'm not doing the showers in this house. The father-in-law is going to take over on that. So I'm just checking that curb, the shower curb, to my dummy line, and see if I'm out of square on there as well. Remember, for the dummy line, you don't have to do anything in the front. It's always going to be on the back that you're going to make the adjustment. I believe I might be probably 3/8 off. 3/8 to 1/4 inch. Okay, so I just took the measurement from the front and I transferred it to the back, and that'll give me the room squared. And it should square up my shower curb as well. I always start with a full at the doorway, and I want to do a full at that curb. And they're going to offset it. I'm lining everything up for the father-in-law, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So I took the measurement of the shower, so everything will be equal cuts in the corners and the side walls in the back. So we're just going to check that and see how good the curb is. We should be okay. Remember, gauging is always important, so take your time. All right, everything's good now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one tile. Remember, I want a full at the curb of the shower. And I'm just going to take a mark. That curb is actually sticking flush with that wall, which you should go about a 1/2 inch with that curb. I talked to the builder about it, so they'll do something about it. I'll correct that. So we're just going to take a mark from that dummy line to that tile. And we're going to transfer that same mark to the front of the doorway on that line. It's a little hard to see in here, even though I have a trouble light, or an LED light, but it's still a little tricky to see. There's no lights in this house yet, but they usually do when a new build. They always do that last. Okay. And we're going to go there and we're going to do the same thing, the same mark on that dummy line. We'll just remove that tile or slide it down and just to check it. So we're going to put our string line on that. That's going to be our true line for our, that'll be our tile line. We're going to follow that through and through. So we're just going to make sure, always check, guys. It's so important. Okay, we're just going to shake that chalk line, make sure we got enough chalk on that line. Okay. We'll try this again. I'm just going to go grab a pail and hold that right there. Just put some weight on that chalk line. Just straighten it out. Make sure you're on that mark. Okay, go to the other end. Onto the other mark. Strike that line. That's my tile line. All right. So this calls for the same thing. It's going to be a 1/3 brick because the tiles have a little bit of a bow. So it's always good to do a 1/3 instead of a full brick. But first, let's check to make sure that we're on that curb. You should leave about a 1/4 inch allowance between that curb and everything. That's plenty of room for you. All right, just make sure, because you don't want a slice cut on the wall or the curb. So that's why it's always good to make sure, double check everything. So what you should do is put like your first course on that on that good line, that tile line. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to get really lucky here, and everything is going to be squared up nicely with the shower. Follow the curb, because you're going to do an offset on the curb because you have a full against the curb. So it'll break everything up, make it look like a continuous brick through the floor to the shower. And see how everything balances out. So you would offset when the father-in-law does the curb and through the shower. So I want to make things really easy for him. So what I'm going to do is I'm just making sure, I'm just marking like 24 inches and make sure that'll be okay. And there you go. Just putting my thinking cap on here, making sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little easier. So that tile that I just picked up, we're going to switch it. Okay, there's an arrow. We're going to go one way, first course, arrow, the second way. So opposite of each other, up and down. All right. Just put another arrow here. That'll be a second course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cut and a full at the door. But you want a fatter cut. So just mark 7.5. That's my 1/3. And we're going to use the bigger cut at the doorway. It will fit a lot nicer. And it's nicer to have a fatter cut at the doorway. And it actually works out perfectly for the curb as well. So just put a square and mark that. And we're going to cut that piece. Okay, that's the one we're going to use. So that first course that I laid out, that's why I was thinking. So I'm going to use that for the second course. This cut I'm going to put here. It'll balance out the curb a lot better for them. All right. That will be my second course. I'll just show you what I'm writing here. That's my 1/3. It's my 1/3 tile. And this is going to be my full on my second course. So we're going to put that right back on the line. And make sure that you're on that line, and make sure that your tile edge doesn't overstep the 2x4. If it does, just a little bit, that's fine. It's okay. Just mark that 1/3 there. All right. And then what you're going to want to do is just chalk line an X on that dummy line, because you don't want to follow that one. And now we're going to put, I'm just going to mark the arrow, make sure, because that 1/3 is going down and this full is going up. So that way we don't hit the same pattern. Some of these tiles will have the same pattern, and you don't want to have them next to each other. So we'll just put that right there. And we'll mark that line there too. And the reason why we're doing that, we're going to put a square on that. And we're going to do a chalk line from wall to wall, opposite. Just make sure that it's 7.5. All right. Get that heavy square. We'll put it on that 1/3. And we'll mark that line. Okay, put the square on for the second course. That'll be my 7.5 inches. And we're gonna mark that line as well. But let's make sure to check that line that we're good, that we're squared. Everything looks good. That's why if you take your time gauging and everything, you can't screw up. Just keep marking and measuring. Just keep measuring and you should be good. You have to have faith in yourself. Okay. Let's make a little bit of room there. Get those tiles out of the way. Just gonna grab my pail there. Help me hold that chalk line down. Always shake your chalk line. Make sure you have enough chalk on there. Just make sure you're on that line as well. It's very important. Okay, just strike that. All right. And that'll be my secondary. That'll be my full course. Make sure you check, though, before you continue. 7.5 inches. Remember, you can't do full brick with these kind of tiles. Just different kind of caliber. Make sure. Just strike that line. And we'll just put some weight on the other side, and we're going to strike that line all the way through to the closet. This is all basic knowledge. Once you understand the basic of everything, life is so easy. It's just using common sense. And I'll just strike that line. That chalk line. There we go. Okay, we're going to strike for that full tile. Okay, let's make sure and just go to the other end and mark 7.5. See if we're right on that line. Yeah, right on. Nice and square. All right. That wasn't so bad. Okay, that's going to be my start. So that's going to be my 1/3 start. So I'm going to run my first course from door to the wall. Make sure it's leveled across and in the front. Once you have that first course leveled, it's so easy to continue your second course. Just put your level on it across and you just follow that. And your floor will be perfect. This is on concrete. You might have to do a little bit more cement, but your levels will always tell you the truth, and just have to have faith in your levels. And of course, I always use 1/16 spacers. So that's my arrow. I'm just gonna mark that. You should always mark on the front, like your first course. That'll be my second course, down. Arrow up and then down. So when you lay, you don't forget what direction your arrow is going. You just have to look at the front of your first course, and then you'll remember. It just helps out. Okay, just like that. That'll be a better fit for my first course too, like I said, for the curb. He'll have not as many cuts as what I'm trying to say at the curb, so he can offset the curb now. Okay, I'm just gonna start leveling a little bit. Always remember, if there's hardwood, you only go 3/4 of an inch, because hardwood is 3/4 of an inch. If it's 5/8, then there's really nothing they can do. They have to tilt the board up. So just that first course, make sure you're level through and through, and on your side is side to side. I'm just gonna put a box in front of that metal, so when I push, the metal won't move on me. I'm gonna try to get a little bit into the closet, so the next day when I lay tiles, it'll be easier for me to finish off the closet the next day. All right. We used iron grout for this, Mapai, ultra color grout. I always use Mapai ultra color because it has a sealer in it, and it also stays true, the color, as opposed to other colors, other makes. So there we go. That's not so bad. Floor was really good. Like I said, the concrete guys were amazing on this. So I was very impressed. These are new builders that I picked up. I did a job, and it was for a stone fireplace. I met them there. They couldn't find anybody that could do the stone. I did post that a while back, and just became good friends, I guess. And they're just great kids. I wish them good fortune. They're awesome builders. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something. Please like, subscribe, help grow my channel. It's always nice to have subscribers and better my channel for you. Thank you guys. Have a good day.